Listen, everyone every second is writing your future. There is one thing every person on earth receives in exactly the same amount. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, young or old, famous or unknown, successful or struggling. Every single morning, life deposits the same gift into your account. 24 hours, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. Nothing more, nothing less. And here's the frightening truth. Once 1 second is gone, it is gone forever. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose a job and find another. You can lose a business and build a new one. But you will never, ever get back the time that has already passed. Think about that. The hour you wasted yesterday is gone. The week you spent making excuses is gone. The months you promised yourself, "I'll start next Monday," are gone. The years you spent waiting for confidence, gone. Life doesn't pause while you hesitate. The clock doesn't slow down because you're afraid. Time keeps moving. With you, or without you. One day you'll wake up and realize you have fewer tomorrows than yesterdays. That realization changes everything, because suddenly you understand that life was never about having enough time. It was about using the time you already had. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they underestimate the value of ordinary days. They think one more day won't matter. One more episode. One more hour scrolling. One more week of procrastination. One more excuse. But success and regret are both built exactly the same way. One day at a time. No one wakes up after 10 years and says, "I accidentally became successful." Just like no one accidentally wastes an entire life. It happens little by little. Choice by choice. Habit by habit. Day after day. You become what you repeatedly do. Not occasionally. Repeatedly. Every habit is casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Every morning you hit the snooze button, you're voting for comfort. Every time you avoid difficult work, you're voting for procrastination. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're voting for discipline. Your future is counting those votes. And one day, it announces the winner. The greatest tragedy isn't failure. The greatest tragedy is unrealized potential. Imagine reaching the end of your life and meeting the person you could have become. The healthier version of you. The stronger version. The wiser version. The disciplined version. The fearless version. Would that meeting fill you with pride? Or regret? Because regret is a heavy burden. It whispers, "I could have. I should have. If only I had started sooner." Those words are painful because they're true. Don't let those words become your story. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is learning a new skill. Someone is reading another chapter. Someone is building a business. Someone is training while everyone else sleeps. Someone is taking one more step toward the future they dream about. The question isn't whether opportunity exists. The question is, what are you doing while opportunity is being created? Success rarely arrives like lightning. It arrives like sunrise. Slowly. Quietly. Almost unnoticed. Until one day everyone looks at you and says, "You're so lucky." They didn't see the years of invisible work. They didn't see the sacrifices. They only noticed the results. That's the problem with social media. People see success. They rarely see the process. They see the finish line. They don't see the thousands of lonely mornings, the failures, the setbacks, the nights filled with doubt. Real growth happens in private. The strongest habits are built when nobody is watching. Character is revealed when applause disappears. Ask yourself this question. Who are you when no one expects anything from you? Do you still work hard? Do you still learn? Do you still improve? Because that's the version of you that shapes your future. Not the version you show the world. The version you become when you're alone. Stop believing that you need a perfect plan before you begin. You don't. You need a decision. The path becomes clearer after you start walking. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence grows because of action. The first workout feels difficult. The first video feels uncomfortable. The first business idea feels risky. The first speech feels terrifying. That's normal. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every master once looked inexperienced. Every champion once finished last. The difference is they kept showing up, even when progress was invisible. Understand something important. You are not competing against everyone else. You're competing against yesterday's version of yourself. Become 1% better today. Read one more page. Write one more paragraph. Make one more phone call. Practice for 10 more minutes. Save a little more money. 1% may seem small, but over months, over years, small improvements create extraordinary lives. People often wait for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll wake up inspired. Other mornings you'll feel nothing. If you only work when you feel motivated, your dreams will always depend on your emotions. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. That's where transformation begins. Not when it's easy, but when it's difficult. Every difficult decision strengthens you. Every excuse weakens you. Your future is being shaped right now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Right now. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent improving. Every hour spent comparing yourself to others is an hour stolen from your own growth. Comparison steals joy. Action creates confidence. Stop watching other people live the life you want. Start building your own. The world does not owe you extra time. It owes no one another chance. Every sunrise is an invitation. Every sunset is a reminder. You don't know how many opportunities remain. None of us do. That's why today matters. That's why this hour matters. That's why this decision matters. Because years from now, you'll either thank yourself for what you started today, or you'll wish you had. The choice has always been yours. And it still is. Don't waste another day waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment has never existed. There is only this moment. This breath. This decision. This opportunity. Protect your time. Respect your future. And remember, the life you dream about isn't built someday. It's built today. The hidden cost of procrastination. Have you ever noticed something about procrastination? It almost never feels dangerous in the moment. That's what makes it so powerful. No alarm goes off when you decide to put your dream aside for another day. The world doesn't stop turning because you delayed one important decision. Nothing dramatic happens. And that's exactly why so many people never notice the damage until years have passed. Procrastination doesn't steal your future all at once. It steals it quietly. One postponed goal. One missed opportunity. One promise to yourself that you never keep. Over time, those small moments begin to shape your identity. You stop saying, I'm going to do it. Instead, you start believing, maybe I'm just not the kind of person who follows through. That belief becomes a prison. Not because it's true. Because you've repeated it long enough to accept it. But here's the good news. Identity can change. The moment you start keeping small promises to yourself, you begin rebuilding trust. Wake up when you said you would. Finish the task you started. Read the chapter. Take the walk. Make the phone call. These actions may seem ordinary, but they send a powerful message to your mind: I am someone who follows through. Confidence isn't built through positive thinking alone. It's built through evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you create evidence that you can be trusted. That evidence becomes confidence. And confidence becomes momentum. Momentum is one of the greatest forces in life. A single productive day makes the next productive day easier. A week of discipline makes another week feel possible. Small wins create bigger wins. That's why you should never underestimate the value of today. Many people spend their lives chasing motivation. But motivation is temporary. Purpose lasts longer. When you know why you're working, the work becomes meaningful. Ask yourself, who are you becoming through your daily choices? Not what are you achieving. Who are you becoming? Are you becoming more patient? More disciplined? More resilient? Or are you becoming someone who constantly delays what matters most? Every day answers that question. Life is not only measured by milestones. It is measured by habits. The habits you practice today become the life you live tomorrow. Imagine two people standing in the same place today. They have similar abilities, similar opportunities, similar dreams. One decides to improve by 1% every day. The other decides to wait until conditions are perfect. A month later, they look almost identical. 6 months later, the gap becomes noticeable. 5 years later, they are living completely different lives. Not because one was luckier, because one respected time while the other assumed there would always be more of it. Time rewards consistency, not intensity. Anyone can work hard for one day. Few people remain committed for years. That commitment is what changes lives. There will always be distractions. Your phone, social media, endless entertainment. None of those things are evil on their own. The danger comes when they consume the hours meant for your purpose. Ask yourself honestly, where is your attention going? Because your attention eventually becomes your future. Whatever receives your focus grows stronger. If you constantly feed distraction, distraction becomes a habit. If you consistently feed discipline, discipline becomes part of your character. You don't need to transform your entire life this week. The difference is that they refuse to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. They acted anyway. You can do the same. Not because it will always be easy, but because your future deserves the effort. Years from now, people may only see the success. They won't see the mornings you chose growth over comfort. They won't see the evenings you stayed committed when nobody was watching. But you will know. And that quiet knowledge will become one of the greatest sources of pride in your life. So don't ask whether today feels important. Ask whether the person you hope to become would be proud of the decision you're about to make. If the answer is yes, take the step. Then take another. And another. Because extraordinary lives are built exactly that way, one intentional day at a time. Become the person your future is waiting for. Take a moment and imagine your life 5 years from now. Close your eyes for just a second and picture it. Where are you living? Who have you become? How do you wake up every morning? How do you feel about yourself? Now ask yourself one difficult question. Is that future getting closer? Or further away? Because of what you're doing today? The truth is, your future isn't built in 5 years. It's built today. Right now, every decision you make is either building the life you dream about, or quietly taking you further away from it. Life rarely changes overnight. It changes through repetition. You become stronger because you keep showing up. You become wiser because you keep learning. You become successful because you refuse to stop. The biggest mistake people make is believing they have plenty of time. I'll start next month. I'll get serious next year. I'll chase my dream when life settles down. But life is never completely settled. There will always be another challenge, another responsibility, another reason to wait. If you wait until everything feels perfect, you'll spend your entire life waiting. Start imperfectly. Take messy action. Improve along the way. Because motion creates momentum. And momentum creates confidence. Think about a train. The hardest part isn't keeping it moving. The hardest part is getting it moving in the first place. Your life works the same way. The first workout is difficult. The first business idea feels impossible. The first video gets almost no views. The first chapter sounds awkward. The first speech feels uncomfortable. But every step makes the next one easier. Don't judge your beginning. Protect it. Every great achievement once looked small. Every forest started with a single seed. Every skyscraper began as a blueprint. Every masterpiece started with one imperfect attempt. Never underestimate small beginnings. Another dangerous habit is comparing yourself to everyone else. Comparison convinces you that you're behind. But you don't know their story. You don't know their struggles. You don't know how many years they spent failing before anyone noticed them. Stop measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. Run your own race. The only person you need to outperform is yesterday's version of yourself. Become a little better today. A little stronger. A little kinder. A little more disciplined. Those tiny improvements will eventually become impossible to ignore. Success is not one giant leap. It's thousands of ordinary choices made with extraordinary consistency. Understand this. Your environment influences your future. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, negativity becomes normal. If everyone around you complains, complaining begins to feel natural. Protect your environment. Protect your attention. Protect your standards. Choose people who challenge you. Choose books that teach you. Choose conversations that help you grow. Growth is rarely comfortable. Comfort is rarely where growth happens. There will be moments when you feel like quitting. Everyone experiences those moments. The question isn't whether you'll face them. The question is what you'll do when they arrive. Will you let one difficult day become the reason you give up? Or will you remember why you started? Remember your purpose. Purpose gives pain meaning. Purpose keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Purpose reminds you that today's sacrifice is tomorrow's freedom. Don't be afraid of hard work. Be afraid of wasting your potential. Be afraid of reaching the end of your life wondering what might have happened if you had simply believed in yourself. Regret is expensive. The decision that changes everything. Take a moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Imagine that you are 80 years old. Your hair has turned gray. Your hands carry the marks of a lifetime. Your steps are slower than they used to be. You sit quietly in a chair, looking out a window as the sun begins to set. The years have passed faster than you ever imagined. The days that once felt endless became memories. The dreams that once seemed distant became either reality or regret. Now imagine your younger self walks into the room. The person standing before you is who you are today. What would your older self say? Would they smile with pride and say, "Thank you for taking the risk. Thank you for staying disciplined. Thank you for refusing to quit"? Or would they quietly whisper, "I wish you had started. I wish you had believed in yourself. I wish you had stopped waiting"? That conversation has not happened yet. Which means you still have the power to decide how it ends. Every sunrise gives you another chance to write a different chapter. The question is not whether life will be difficult. It will. The question is whether you will become stronger because of those difficulties. Every meaningful goal asks something from you. It asks for patience when progress is slow. It asks for courage when fear is loud. It asks for discipline when comfort is calling your name. And it asks for consistency long after excitement has disappeared. Many people fall in love with the dream. Very few fall in love with the process. But the process is where transformation lives. It is found in the ordinary mornings, the quiet evenings, the unseen effort, the small choices that no one applauds. Those moments may seem insignificant, yet they are building the foundation of everything your future will stand upon. Never underestimate what a single year of focused effort can accomplish. A year of reading instead of scrolling. A year of exercising instead of making excuses. A year of learning instead of complaining. A year of choosing growth over comfort. That year could change the direction of your entire life. Think about how quickly 1 year passes. Last year probably feels like yesterday. The next year will pass just as quickly. The only difference is what you decide to do with it. Time moves forward whether you move or not. So move. There is another truth that many people avoid. No one can live your life for you. People can encourage you. They can teach you. They can support you. But they cannot make your decisions. They cannot build your habits. They cannot develop your character. Those responsibilities belong to you. And while that may sound heavy, it is also incredibly empowering. Because if your future depends on your daily choices, then your future is not out of your hands. It is already within your reach. Every morning is an opportunity to prove something, not to the world, but to yourself. Can you keep the promise you made yesterday? Can you remain committed when no one is watching? Can you choose purpose over comfort? Those are the questions that shape extraordinary lives. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to delay. There will always be people who say your dream is unrealistic. Listen respectfully. Then return to your work. Your progress will always speak louder than your explanations. One day, someone will ask you how you changed your life. They will expect a secret. They will expect one life-changing event. But you will know the truth. There was no secret. There was no magic. There was only a decision. A decision to stop wasting time. A decision to stop waiting for perfect conditions. A decision to show up every day, especially on the days when you didn't feel like it. That decision changed everything. Remember this whenever doubt appears. You do not have to be the smartest person. You do not have to be the most talented. You do not have to have the perfect background. You simply have to become the person who refuses to stop learning. Who refuses to stop improving. Who refuses to surrender their future to fear. Life has a remarkable way of rewarding persistence. Not immediately. Not dramatically. But steadily. Quietly. Day after day. The seed beneath the soil appears unchanged for a long time. Yet beneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is forming.